Hey guys, welcome to lesson 2.5. We are going to continue on our exploration of area and perimeter, and today we are going to focus more on the equation aspect of things. Okay, so as a little warm up here, and just to remember how to do perimeter and area typically, we have a rectangle here. It's a 20 by 12 rectangle. So if we were to find the perimeter of that rectangle, we would do 20 plus 12 plus, now we have to add all the sides together, and recall that when you have a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So we can just do another 20, another 12, and that's going to give us a grand total of, let's see, 20 plus 20 is 40, plus 24 is 64 feet. That is our perimeter. Okay, and then for area, we just do base times height, so 20 times 12, and that's going to give us 240 feet squared. All right, so that is how we would just calculate area and perimeter of a regular rectangle. So what we're going to be doing today is figuring out how to do that when we really just have a bunch of variables as opposed to regular numbers. So let's say I have two sides of my rectangle. One is x plus 3, one is 4x. Let's start by filling in missing sides. I know that this side will be 4x, and then I know that this side will be x plus 3. Again, that's because we know that rectangles have opposite sides that are equal to each other. So now if I'm trying to write an equation to represent the area of the figure, I know we don't have any numbers, but we can still, hypothetically find an area. We know that area is equal to base times height, right? So in our case, it would really be x plus 3 times 4x. Okay, and that's good enough for us. That's all we need for that equation. Okay, part B, write an equation to represent the perimeter of the figure. So here's the thing. They told us that the perimeter of this rectangle is 56 yards. So we know that when we add all these sides together, it's going to equal 56. So let's say we did 4x plus 4x plus x plus 3. Again, I'm just adding all four of these sides, plus another x plus 3. All right, another way to write that would have been to do 4x times 2 plus x plus 3 times 2. Again, that's up to you. You can write things however you prefer. Some people prefer this just because it's like more obvious to look at. But let's go ahead and combine our like terms. Okay, these 4x's and these x's can combine to make 4, 8, 9, 10 x's. All right, and then our numbers, 3 and 3, combine to make 6. And the thing is, we know that our perimeter was 56, so we can set those equal to 56. All right, so our final equation is 10x plus 6 equals 56. All right, so now that we have an equation that represents our perimeter, we can use this equation to figure out what x is. So let's say we write our equation here, 10x plus 6 equals 56. And now we can go ahead and solve. So just as you guys are used to, we'll subtract 6 from both sides. And then we end up with 10x equals 50. And now we just got to divide both sides by 10 to get x by itself. So that gives us an x of 50 divided by 10, which is just 5. So x equals 5. Should have done this in green. All right. Now that we have found our x value, we can actually figure out what the real lengths of this rectangle are. If we look back up here, we know that the long side was x plus 3 and the other side was 4x. In hindsight, it would make sense for it to be the other way around, but that's all right. So here we know that if we plug in 5 for x, it would be 5 plus 3, and here it would be 4 times 5. So my new dimensions are 8 by 20. And again, I apologize, I should have thought this through. The 20 should definitely be on the longer side, but it's okay. And lastly, to find an area, we would do base times height, right? So it would just be 8 times 20, and that's going to equal 160. Now, we don't really have a unit to work with. We weren't given one, so we can just say 160 units squared. If there's no unit, you can literally use the word unit. Okay, and that is it for today.